Well, hello everybody. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight on BroncBuster Live. Tyler and I've got our good friend Doug here. We are going to have a great time, hopefully, talking with y'all tonight. So, to get started, I'm going to just recognize everybody that's on here. Welcome to Old Duck Off Road, Bronco Adventures. We got Life Beef for Work, Fields Day, Bronco Adventures. How are you guys? Mark Allen, Sean Brentnell, Jessica Dunn, and anybody else that's on, say hi to us. Appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to have a fun show tonight. We've got here, we're going to be talking about Wheeling for a Cause. But before we do that, I figured I'd just kind of give you an update on where we've been and what's been going on the last week. It's been quite the adventure since we were on last Tuesday, actually. As a lot of you guys know, yes, I've rolled my second Bronco, and yes, we were out testing product. That video coming soon, and I think you guys are going to find this a good one. It was on Pritchett Canyon, and here somewhere towards the end of the video, I'm going to throw up a little walk around because literally I brought BroncBuster home, I pulled it off the trailer, and there it sits. Sometime this week when I get caught up, I got to get it ready for heading to Tennessee. Yes, it's still going to Tennessee. Will it be perfect? Nope. You guys will get to see it in its true nature, right? Anyway, so with that, we've got some stuff we're going to cover tonight is some of our experiments and our new bumper. And if you haven't watched our new video we just released here right before, I encourage you to go watch it. It was a fun one with our testing of our new bumper and kind of how high and how and why. And sorry, I'm kind of bumbling a little bit here. Anyways, so with that, I'm going to turn a little bit of time over to Doug because he's going to talk about Wheeling for a Cause, get you guys hyped up and excited because October's coming quick.
October is coming quick, and we had such a great event in January for everyone that was there, who participated in it. Those of you that heard about it, it was a great event, and we had a great showing from the whole community, and we really do appreciate that. And we just know that this event coming up in October, it's going to be even better. And the reason for that is because we had such a great time out there that a lot of people who couldn't make it were thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure about this. They're like, oh my gosh, now I want to be there. I want to be there. And a lot of sponsors who were kind of on the fence, couldn't convince them to tip over. Now they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. We need to be there. And so October, put it on your calendars, the 12th through the 15th. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to want to get off work. That's why I'm telling you this early. That's why I said, Tyler, I got to let these folks know. You got to start asking for time off. If you're the kind of person who needs time off, start asking for the time off. We're going to be doing some really super exciting stuff on Thursday and Friday, which is the 12th and the 13th. Certainly the weekend is going to be great. But Tyler and I and some others, we got some plans in place. And remember, we knew about Ted Nugent's guitar well before you did. And we kind of hinted at it. Well, we're kind of hinting at it. We're going to have some awesome stuff planned for the 12th and the 13th for sure. And of course, the 13th, 14th, and then the 15th is just going to be crazy wheeling. It's all going to be for our veterans who are disabled, for mobility challenged. We need to raise a bunch of money for those folks, get them outdoors, get them enjoying the outdoors. For those of you who are participated and knew about it, you saw what happened with TJ. We were able to raise enough funds to get him that off-road track wheelchair and give him like a whole different lifestyle that he could come out and just truck with the Bronco community. And so that was really awesome. So we've got some awesome plans in place for this year. Now, saying that, giving begets giving. And there was this group, the Gulf Coast Bronco Association, Gulf Coast Bronco Association. Shelton Boyle leads them. There's a few others. They weren't able to make it. They were really hoping to make it, and they couldn't make it. And so they actually are putting on a benefit June 3rd and 4th. So that's less than 2 months away. 2 months seems like a long way off, but we got to plan ahead. Get it on your calendars. It's the Gulf Coast Bronco Bash. So look it up on your web. It's also on our site. The Gulf Coast Bronco Association's putting on their bash. It's at Holly Beach, right across the Texas border in Louisiana, not far into Louisiana. So if you're anywhere in West Texas, East Texas, North Texas, anywhere in the South, it's going to be an easy place to get to if you want to go and get with hundreds of other enthusiasts, other Broncos. Their association goes from Louisiana all the way down into, I think they're joining up with Houston here really quick. So a big group's going to be there. And the awesome thing about it is 100% of the proceeds are going to be going to Wheeling for a Cause. So, I mean, that's just amazing that we got a guy in the Bronco community who says, I couldn't make it. And you know what? I'm going to put on a fundraiser because I believe in this cause. I'm going to put on a fundraiser and donate to Wheeling for a Cause. And all of our money goes, directly into helping our mobility challenge veterans. So this is going to be an awesome event. Look them up at Gulf Coast Bronco Association.com. Look them up there. They've got all the information for the Holly Beach Bash on June 3rd and 4th. What we're really looking for, if you're willing to do it, I mean, it's only $100 to become a sponsor. That puts you on a, if you can get your name in and get your $100 in by this Friday, you get to go on a shirt. Otherwise, you're going to be on a website. I'm telling you right now, I'm throwing it down that if you donate money, even as an individual, over $100, or if you're a sponsor that sponsors this, that is going to carry over into Wheeling for a Cause and
make our event even bigger.
Yep. We're going to shout you out in Wheeling for a Cause, and we're going to recognize you at Wheeling for a Cause too. We're going to build on that because our veterans deserve this. Those folks who those soldiers who were big outdoors people, and then they went off and served, and something catastrophic happened to them while they were serving. And then they're coming back and they're trying to reacclimate. They're trying to get back out. All that money that you guys have given has gone directly into helping those groups and helping those people. So we want to recognize you. So like I said, it's almost like one of those double down things. If you're willing to step up for this Bronco Bash at Holly Beach, we're willing to carry that over and recognize you at Wheeling for a Cause as well. So they're also, if you have something that you think might be valuable to the Bronco community, if you are a dealer or got a retailer of anything, this is a great way to put your merchandise in front of the Bronco community. They need door prizes, they need raffle prizes. So if you could go to Gulf Coast Bronco Association.com, scroll through the whole Holly Beach Bronco Bash coming up on the 3rd and 4th. If you can make it, it's going to be awesome. You can work on your tan. You can go fishing. You can go running on Broncos for 2 days with the whole big Bronco group. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be super helpful for the veterans groups. They're also available on Facebook, so you can look them up there as well. They got all the information on Facebook. So also know that any money that you donate that, I know October seems far away, but there's a lot of costs that we incur as we're moving up to organizing Wheeling for a Cause. It takes administrative costs, and it also takes funding costs to make down payments on the wheelchair and some other things that we needed. So, any amount of dollars helps. And I'll just leave it with also our GoFundMe campaign is still out there. So if you just go to GoFundMe, Wheeling for a Cause, that's always an available link.
Can they get that link on the website too, on Wheeling for a Cause?
They can.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So don't forget, wheelingforacause.org is where you'll find all the updates as far as what we have going on.
Yep.
And we're going to try and be adding a lot more updates. When are we going to have it open for registration? I know I've been getting a lot of questions, and I forgot to ask you that earlier.
So we're shooting for June. So we're only about 2 months away that we're going to start opening up for reservations. For those of you that've been there, remember there's some housing. This is up in Mason, Texas, same place. There's some housing on site, and so that's a first come first serve kind of deal. And then there's kind of unlimited outdoor camping, and the weather's going to be
well. And Bronco Nation has committed to coming and setting up their tents, which are really nice. They got little fireplaces, and so those will go fast too. I mean, you know, if you look at what happened with Bronco Safari, I mean, they sold out everything like that. So be looking for it. We'll give you guys some heads up, so you guys will have first dibs on these accommodations, but start putting it on your calendar, get ready for it, because it is going to be epic. It's going to be a fun time. And I agree. Check out the Gulf Coast Bronco Association, what they're doing in Holly Beach. Sounds like it's going to be a fun time.
June 3rd and 4th, work on the tan, baby.
Work on the tan and get down there and have a good time and help support our veterans. Again, we appreciate you guys. Anything else, Doug, on that?
That's good. We got it. Yep.
Gentlemen, we had one question. Is the same location as last year?
Yeah, I meant to say that. Yes, it is same. Katemsi Rocks in Mason, Texas. We have it reserved. You know, they only open this park up for special events and reservations. So we have that date set there at the same location, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Some changes, just let me touch on real quick. Some changes we talked about from last year. We're going to have better organized trails with some trail guides with all levels, from just, hey, I just got my Bronco and I want to go out and learn more about, you know, how to use it, right? How do lockers work?
Bronco 201.
Bronco 201. And then we'll have maybe a little bit of a moderate, intermediate, and then, you know, those that want to just go out and beat their stuff to death like I do. So we're going to have everything in between. Yeah. Hey, I'll do it again. I mean, it was worth it, every minute of it, and had a good day. In fact, if you guys don't know this, and you'll see it in the video, we not only rolled the Bronco, but I turned it back over. It was a little bit of a chore because where it was sitting and then the hill down, it's a manual transmission, so I couldn't put it in park. So I put it in first gear, set the brake, which, funny story on that. The day previous, when we were with Matt's Off-Road Recovery and we were with Matt's Off-Road, we were with Robbie Layton. Yeah, here we go. There's the video. We were with Fab Rats. We were with all these YouTube channels that were having a fun time doing Hell's Revenge, and they have the limo on there. And my buddy Levi, that was with me on this one, jumped in to help because I was up helping with some of the guys going up Hell's Gate. Levi jumps in my Bronco to go move it, and he's used to his old XJ, and, you know, everything's hard to pull and levers, and he didn't realize that you just push the button to release the brake, and he yanked and pulled my brake out. Well, I figured out how to stick my finger up in there and make it work, but then when I was doing the trail on Pritchett Canyon, I didn't have a working brake other than sticking my finger in there. So after I rolled it, here it's upside down. I'm sitting there crawling inside, trying to set this brake before we winch it over. And, but anyways, long story short, we get it winched over, and now I can't release the brake until I get it started. Well, if any of you have ever had anything, equipment or vehicle upside down for any period of time, you know that the oil goes into the cylinder. So I couldn't just go and start it, or I would have bent a rod or done something. So we had to literally pull it with 2 winches back to a level spot where I could work on it. I got out there, pulled all the spark plugs out, and the night previous I'd been given a towel or a shirt, and that's the only thing I had in there to kind of help. So I put the shirt on top of the engine when I went to turn it over, and it literally blew the shirt all the way up in the air. Oil went everywhere, blew all the oil out, put the spark plugs back in, and it fired right up. Now, it was quite a smoke cloud for a bit, but it ran beautifully. Well, we went and did the rest of Pritchett Canyon, all of it. The only thing I winched up was the one that I rolled on because we had a line behind us. We wanted to get out of there, and I didn't want to keep trying it. But so we winch up it, go on, finish all of Pritchett Canyon. Then after Pritchett Canyon was done, I broke something again. We were done on the trail. That's another video. I'm sorry. I hate to leave you hanging, but I don't want to also ruin the surprise. But let's just say this is going to be a fun one too. Fixed that in a few minutes, got it back on the trail. And then it was like 13 miles to get back to the highway. And then I drove it from the highway all the way back in. So it's not like we pulled it in, trailered it. I didn't have to call Matt on this one. BroncBuster is still in one piece, just needs a little cosmetic and something's going on underneath.
Once again, proving how capable a Bronco is. You can roll it, and I don't know if you ever, when we show the video, you'll hear, just cut the airbags and we'll keep going.
Now, I will say that my video is going to be fun. I'm sure there'll be another twist on it because I was with Matt with Bleep and Jeep. If you guys don't know who he is, check out his channel. He's a cool guy. But Matt on the back of his Jeep has a Bronco recovery sticker. And of course, I have Jeep Eater on mine, and we have this whole banter going on. And so his video is going to be interesting. I'll be curious to see what spin he puts on it, but he was a fun guy to hang out with. He was cool. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. So anyways, we finished the trail, and that's what it is. Now, some of you guys might be interested in what BroncBuster looks like right now. I had my son, while we've been sitting here, run outside and go do a little walk around video. And so I can just show you what it looks like. And then those that are going to be in Tennessee, hopefully all of you, will be able to see what I'm able to do between now and Monday when I hit the road again. So Justin, if you got that video, throw it up real quick, and I'll show everybody what it looks like. Uh-oh, you're muted.
The video in the folder is the hoist video. We don't have that video. If you want to resend it to me, we can post it.
Oh, it's fine. Sorry, I thought I put it in the right folder for Justin. So never mind. I will put that out on other things. So BroncBuster is going to survive, and we will be at. I've had a lot of people message me and say, "Well, does that mean you're not coming to Tennessee?" Nope. You guys get to see it in its raw form for the most part. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to put. I have the bumper that we're going to talk about next. I had no powder coat or anything on it. I just had Craig this morning put it on a shipment. It'll be here hopefully Friday, so I can get it put on. And I'm going to try and get a few other products on there before. I have a Dana 60 sitting in my garage, but I don't have all the parts to put that on yet. So I may be not putting the Dana 60 on until I get back again. But I'm going to put a few things. I have a new top. So Truck Hero sent us a top to look at. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet, so I don't even know what it looks like. So you guys will get to see that for the very first time. And then I'm coming back, taking that top off before heading to Bronco Safari. Our plan is to have the first hard top. That's the plan. There's still a few things that have to happen, but I kind of promised everybody I was hoping to have it at Bronco Safari so that you guys can see it. So we'll see a few different forms of BroncBuster over the next little bit.
What else will we do with our days?
Yeah, what else? I'll be working all weekend.
We have 4 days in Texas, so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So with that, I know that we have some stuff on the BroncBumper is what we're calling it. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to kind of unveil that because it is live on our website right now. If you are interested, what we did was, well, first off, before I did Pritchett Canyon, I called up, I talked to Talon and I talked to Craig over there at CKD Metalworks where we're building it at. And I said, all right, guys, I want to show what this thing will do. And I want to show that it's not going to flex, when it's winched. I want to show that we have the strongest bumper on the market. And so they took it actually inside the shop. This video here came yesterday because when I got done off the trail, Talon called me and said, all right, we did the video, but we didn't hoist it completely. We were going to actually hoist it from the overhead crane inside the shop and let it dangle there. And they were nervous. They didn't want to drop my Bronco. I think Talon just didn't want to lose his daily because he drives this around there in Idaho as we're prototyping stuff. So I said, no, we're going to do it. I called up Austin Bracken and I said, hey, Austin, what do you think? Do you think I'm taking any risk? And he says, we're good until we're not, I think was the words he said. So
we were confident, but we weren't sure.
So we wanted to see, hey, that's a lot of stress, especially when you're holding the back of it and pulling it back. So we went and redid it. And yesterday I had him go outside with the forklift, lift it completely in the air, and bring it back down and just make sure that nothing moved, nothing flexed. So very happy with those results. But that wasn't the only thing we wanted. We wanted to make sure that we had a bumper that had a great approach angle. Okay, so on that, with that approach angle, you know, a lot of the messages that I've gotten over the last few months is, you know, a bumper that has the winch, but nobody likes the winch sitting up on top or sticking out. It blocks your camera view. And even at that, unless you put it completely on top and having it sticking out, the bumper sucked in, it takes up a lot of room. So we got a little creative and said, and I'm sure this is something other people have done before. I'm not just reinventing the wheel here, but I said, what if we take the bump or the whole winch apart and take the controls out of it and find a place to relocate it under the hood? And it actually, when I first went down that road, I thought it was going to be a lot of work. It really wasn't that bad. I'm going to do a video here real soon on how to do that, so that I can give you guys some ideas. But literally, we took one of the Badlands winches that Matt's Off-Road Recovery had. I sat there, gutted it out, and once you gut it out, it's just a few small parts. Pretty easy to relocate. By doing that, we were able to keep it real nice and tight to the vehicle, up high, and without losing that angle. On the ACC relocation kit, yes, you will have to relocate your adaptive cruise control because we're blocking every bit of where that goes on the stock vehicle. There's really no way around that unless I put a winch up on top and left that hole open. It isn't included, but it is an add-on because there are only a handful of people that have the adaptive cruise control. So either blocking the intercooler or the camera or making the Bronco longer. Yes, I agree. And that's the other thing. We wanted to make sure we put some venting in there. That's why we kind of carried the design that's in the grill down into the bumper so we could keep that venting through. Now, a couple of things to note that this is on a 3-inch body lift, but that bumper works on a 3-inch, 1.5 inch, and no body lift. I will say another advantage to the body lift, especially if you're doing an aftermarket bumper, is you're actually, everything going up, you're giving more room for things to cool and to vent on the Bronco.
You know, an interesting thing that happened when we were out there for UBB is Talon was running the prototype at that time, and you had one of your bumpers on BroncBuster. And one of the things we noticed is even with 40s, you were making contact with your bumper.
Oh, I'd hit every time.
Well, but you were making contact on your way up like double Sammy. And I don't think Talon touched the bumper the entire day.
Nope.
And I think that was the big convincing thing was if you're going to be doing this kind of wheeling and you want that kind of clearance where you're not dragging your front bumper or having it be an obstacle for you.
Right.
This solves this issue. Does that say that these other bumpers and some of our other partners are inferior? Absolutely not.
No. When
you're talking about left turn, my vehicle, which is more of an overlanding, yeah, I went up double Sammy with it, but it's, the max I'm going to run is 37s. And I'm certainly not going to do this kind of thing down the hill. This particular model of the bumper, it's probably not for me. I can go with one of our partners' aftermarket bumpers and be completely fine. But it was amazing the clearance that Talon had over you on the same obstacles.
Yep, I agree. And I will say that was one of my restricting factors while they were doing this and I was off on Pritchett Canyon. Pritchett Canyon has a lot of climbs that you need to come up and be able to get a tire up on it. And there was stuff that the XJ on 33s was able to do, and I wasn't, or I'd have to go a different line because I just couldn't get my tire up on it with my bumper. Again, I love the bumper that I run on mine and my wife's for certain applications, but I wanted something that's going to be, number one, something I can beat on without breaking it. Number two, a great approach angle. Yeah. And that the only way to do that and still have the winch, because I'm not going to go out without a winch. I've winched so many people and I've winched myself before. There's just times you need it. I want it. And I don't like having that big, winch sitting up on top. I could do that because I don't have a camera on BroncBuster on the front, but I just don't like the look of it. Yeah, here you go. Bonk, bonk, bonk. That was Levi took his XJ up that and was able to get a tire up on it. I just flat out could not get my tire on it no matter where I put the Bronco. And so I ended up backing out and going a different route. So that does solve a big problem. Let's see. There was another question I was going to look at. Weight. The weight of the bumper is about 84 pounds. So it's, again, it's not going to be your lightest bumper, but we are offering it in aluminum. I don't have the weight of the aluminum yet. I need to still get my first aluminum one done there. We just started production on all of them. So we got, by about a week and a half from now, we'll have the first batch done. We've already got some spoken for. And so if you are interested, get in, fast on it. But we're going to weigh the aluminum. I'm sure it's going to be considerably less. And right now I have the aluminum set just as raw aluminum. I can add an option in there for powder coating it as well. I just had a lot of people that said, hey, I want raw aluminum. And so that's the way I have it in there right now. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in an aluminum one. Then let me know if you really want it powder coated. It's not that bad of a thing. So price difference is, I think it's around $250 more for the aluminum, non-powder coated.
I've got it there on the site, Tyler.
Oh, there you go. So $1,799, $2,100. So 18, about $300. So about $300 difference between the aluminum and the steel bumper. Aluminum right now is without the powder coat, but we can add that. They're being made in Preston, Idaho. So again, right here, and we're supporting our businesses right there in Preston. The people there, if you've never been to Preston, it's a very small town, but they're very manufacturing oriented. They've got some really good manufacturing there. And they've been really good partners with us. And when I said, hey, let's do a bumper, Craig had actually been wanting to do one for quite some time. And so it just said, let's put my ideas and your ideas, Craig. And I kind of gave Craig a lot of free reign. And so a lot of the look of it, I give credit to him. I just said, I want it fairly simple. I want it to be a really good approach angle. And I want it to, be really strong. That was the only criteria I gave him. I sent him a couple of pictures of some ideas, but I said, I don't want you to copy somebody else's. I want it to be 100% original, looking at to do it some way different. That's an important thing to me. I like thinking outside the box and being different with what we do and kind of going about it from a standpoint of how I wheel my issue, the things that have given me issue and how we can fix it. Right. Yep. So let's see. There was another couple questions that I got online. How does it attach to the frame? How did you solve the frame horn flex issue? So it attaches to the frame with the flat plate, but the way it goes on there and the strength of the plate itself, and that it's on there firm, it doesn't flex that. So I can't speak to why some other ones have flexed when you start lifting it. All I know is that we've, taken it off road. We've, winched it in the shop several times, pulled up, seen if it'll flex. We've taken it completely vertical and it does not move or bend the frame horn. So again, I'm not going to speak to why some other bumpers have. I'm not saying that it's not a problem with the frame horn in some way or another, but in my opinion, with a strong backing and the plate that we used on there, I think is why we've been able to not have that issue. Let's see. So one of the other questions is, why did we need this? Well, I kind of covered that if you're looking for some of the things that I'm looking for, and that is the approach angle, the durability, the strength, and being able to still fit a camera, a winch in there is the why there. Mm-hmm. I had somebody else ask me, well, is it just another Bodyguard bumper with a different logo? Guys, I love Bodyguard. Bodyguard are some of our close friends. They support Wheeling for a Cause.
Great supporters.
I am never going to try and take and copy somebody else's, especially not our partners at Bodyguard. It's different. It's just completely different. And this is our 100% different design. And part of that was having Craig work on this and put all that effort he did. He knows nothing about these other bumpers, never seen them, never worked on, never looked at them. So I wanted him to have just a clean, fresh approach based on the criteria I gave him. Let's see. We already talked about the ACC relocation and what if it's used for recovery point. We kind of covered that too. So how is it adjustable for the body lift options? Thank you, Derek. I appreciate it. The way it is on the backing plate, it has the bolt locations already drilled into it. So it's, the one set goes for 3 inch and so on. You got 1.5 inches and you got stock height. So that's how we've made it. So there's no additional brackets. It's a very simple install. Yeah, it's really pretty cut and dry on that for sure. Any other questions that we have out there that I've missed? Let's see, recovery point. Okay. Well, if other questions come up, I'll go back to them, but a couple other things I want to hit on. So the other solution that we've talked about in other ones is the body lift light bar. And we put that on Hefe's Bronco with Matt's Off-Road. Shoot, Justin, I forgot to ask if you had a picture of that quickly that you could throw up. But anyways, if not, it's in the video I just released, and I'm putting together another video with the whole build. So hopefully this week we'll have the video of the Matt's Off-Road build out. It was a fun one. We had a ton of fun with Matt and Hefe and all those guys. And I'm working feverishly to get that one done before we head out, hopefully.
Yep.
The other thing is, let's see. Sorry, I came late. Is a body lift required? No, sorry, Larry. It's not required, but it will work with stock height, 1.5 inch body lift, and 3 inch body lift. The advantages with the 3 inch body lift is you're going to definitely maximize on your approach angle, because as the body goes up, the whole bumper goes up, and you're going to clear a lot, quicker for sure. So that's just one of those things that a body lift does give you advantage, but it's not required. Actually, I guess that's a good thing to bring up on the body lift. So I've had a lot of questions and I've been reading on forums on people's debates about body lifts, and the best answer that's come up with why not to do a body lift is the look. Because other than that, especially on the Bronco, maybe on some of the later model vehicles, you ran into other issues, but on the Bronco, it's quick and easy to install. It's not a very expensive part. Instead of it being a 6-hour suspension lift project, it's literally a 30-minute to an hour project. Nobody can say we haven't crash tested it, right? I mean, we've had Jake, our buddy Jake was the first crash test on it. Well, I guess technically when I rolled my wife's a year ago, it was on the first 3 inch body lift besides BroncBuster. And when it came off, it didn't move the body mounts. It didn't touch nothing. But that's, rolling over on the side is one thing. Our buddy Jake, when we were out testing some steering stuff, we went out in sand dunes. We were giving it full throttle and playing around. And well, Jake launched it off of a dune, came down on the front end. And when that happened, it ended up totaling his Bronco. One of our friends ended up getting hurt pretty bad. Broke his back, but nothing happened with the body mounts. So then I've rolled it. In fact, Jake's actually had another. So Jake and I are 2 for 2, I guess, right? We're both tied now for. He's the Utah Bronco killer, and I guess I'm the Texas Bronco killer. So oh well. Anyways, there's no worry about it coming dismounted. We've shown that, and it doesn't cause any other problems. So really it came down to looks. And if you look on here, I think Texas Fabco helping with our idea of a rear, and we have it for the front as well. I just wanted 2 options in the front, especially to maintain that better approach angle. I thought bumper was a good fix, but we have this available now too on our website. We'll have about 30 of them coming out of production next week. So get on getting some of those orders. If you guys have a body lift, or if you're looking to do one, I won't kill that subject to death, but I just wanted to touch on, to us, why a body lift is really a great solution.
Well, and that light bar is a great solution. I have an 1.5 inch, and I have the 1.5 inch light bar, the prototype in there. And just in a rain, driving back in a massive rainstorm from Lubbock yesterday or the day before, I switched it on the I-10. So I just was more visible and I could see better. It's just an extra set of lights. And it actually gave me a little bit better visibility in just torrential Texas downpour. So it's not even necessarily a night deal.
Well, I can imagine in fog or in, snowstorm or whatever, having that additional visibility would definitely be a good thing.
Well, in Texas, we've got the deer that seem to migrate to the roads. And so, boy, if you can pick them up before they pick you up, that light bar is just paid for itself.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to just answer, let's see. Oh, how's it going to work with the new skids? Good question, Robert. We're working on that still. We may do a couple of versions that work just specifically with ours. But if you look at the front end of Hefe's, it works fine. We're not tying the bumper to the skid plate because it'd be awful hard since we have a bumper that locates in 3 different positions. We'd have to have 3 different skid plates. So we're doing that a little bit differently. But at the point where you're going to hit a rock, it then has that protection coming out. We're looking at maybe cleaning up the corners, making the corners a little bit different. So I've already been talking with Sean and Crystal over there at Talon's Garage to come up with maybe one more option for us or a couple options for us on ours, so that we have that to offer. But that's another thing that is now on our website is the full aluminum and full steel skid plate package. So if you haven't been on our website in a while, we've got a lot of new products and I encourage you to go on there. Actually, while I'm looking at it, so one of the things that we're working on right now, if you have a wild track, we don't currently offer rear shock skids for it, but we're working on that. We should have that out here real shortly because, as you know, the rear shock skids only work on, I guess you consider it the stock Bronco or everything but the wild track, and the wild track with the Haas 3.0 and it does not work with the Raptor. Raptor will be next to come up with something there too, because it's still a problem there as well. Winch. Yes. So, you know what, right now, we only have the winch option, but I could not very easily, we can do a few without it. So I appreciate this feedback, guys, because if there are some of you that absolutely do not want a winch, I need to know here real soon. If you put in a comment, hey, I want to order one, but I want one without a winch. It's not going to affect price because it's literally just a matter of not cutting out some holes. And but we can definitely do that and not have the holes in the top and not have the holes in the front if there is some interest there for sure. So are wiring harness and ditch lights available with mounting kit on mirrors? No. We right now all we are offering is just the universal light mount, light mount brackets. But the wiring harness usually comes with come with the pigtail and whatever light you do buy. But we are working on that. We are we've got some options coming up here real soon. One of those being with Raycor. So Raycor Lights is also made in Logan, Utah, which is right next to Preston, Idaho. So that's what we put actually on Hefe's Bronco. They are an incredible light. They put out a lot of lumens, and they use very little amps. And they're indestructible. I can show how indestructible because I had a whole light bar of them across on BroncBuster. And when I rolled completely on top of it and the whole Bronco was sitting on top of that light bar, not one light was damaged. In fact, turned them on, they worked perfectly. So that just goes show a lot of the strength. Yeah, here I am.
Get a knife. We can still drive.
Yeah, I cut the airbags out. This is right after I got it started. And of course, it was smoking a lot for the first hour because I was burning all that oil out of the cylinders, right? Anyways, so the light bars, right? That's
Yeah,
what you're talking
Raycor lights. They really deliver. They deliver lumens. They deliver toughness.
and so
easy to install.
That's what I was going to say. So Raycor right now, everything that we've been using is made for heavy equipment. They use it in mining. They use it on heavy equipment. And when I met with them last summer and started talking, they were just starting to do some stuff with Heavy D with the Diesel Brothers. So Diesel Brothers has done several builds with it. Matt's Off-Road Recovery has Raycor on his heavy wrecker. And I said, well, I want to do the first Bronco with some Raycor lights. And I actually did Raycor lights, and I also work with Project X. Project X has another awesome looking light. I just want to have some options. And the response, I was really surprised. Here these lights are made for heavy equipment, and the response I've gotten is, man, I love the look of that, and I love what it does, and they are very indestructible, like I've proven there. So on that, Raycor is actually making a slightly less expensive version for vehicles. So maybe not quite as bulletproof, because these things literally are made to go on an excavator out in a mine and not break. So we don't need quite that indestructible for the price. So we're trying to get a price point that is more comparable to some of the other on the market, and made right here in the U.S. in Idaho. Every bit of it is made in Idaho. There's also another light company that we're in talks with. So there's a few options that we'll have coming, but right now all we offer is the bracket. So, let's see, what other questions? No winch. With no winch, would it be closer to the body? Not as thick on the front. Well, that would be a completely redesign. If I get enough requests that, hey, I don't want a winch, I just want a totally different bumper that even has a better approach angle. Yeah, I can definitely make it tighter to the vehicle. We can come up with that, but that's going to take a little bit of time. It takes to develop one bumper. It's taken us quite a few months and versions. Okay, this version, that version. Does this work? Does that not work? How does it mount up? We're cutting one apart. We're putting it together. So to answer that question, definitely message us if you really want. If there's enough people that want one without a bumper or without a winch on the bumper, I will definitely look at that. It gets very expensive to do just one-offs here and there. I have to kind of try and build something that is the most marketable to everybody. We're not empty.
Plus, it's a good idea to have, especially if you're going to be using the bumper to its capability. It's good to have a winch with you. I understand some people aren't into them, and there's a cost associated with them, but boy, if you're going to start doing the extreme wheeling 5 and over, it's worth the money. It's just worth the money at the end of the day. As we proved with shock skids, if you have them on there, saves you a whole bunch of money.
Yeah,
and a bunch of time.
We learned that the hard way, Doug. Yeah, that was not a fun day. I felt really bad on that because it was my responsibility. I should have got those on and didn't. But anyways, all right. So
we'll never let them forget it.
All right. Do your perch collar lifts kits level a Badlands Sasquatch? Yes. If you can either buy the 1-inch just to level the front. I've had a lot of people asking recently, and so I'm glad this come up because now Justin's in the background and Justin can make this change. I've had a lot of people ask for the 1.5 inch just for the front, and I have no problem making different kits and different configurations. So I think we're going to add a 1.5 inch just to level the front, or you buy this kit, which puts 1 inch on the back and 1.5 inch in the front, is another way to level. So we're going to, we have a couple options right now, and then we're going to add one more option in there as well. There was another question I think we might've missed, Justin. Doesn't work with the EBOC coilovers either. Chris, I'm not sure I know enough about the EBOC coilover. As far as for the bumper, I'm not sure why it wouldn't. Anyways, I'll get with Chris and find out a little bit more information, or Chris, maybe put a little bit more detail why it doesn't, because that's new to me. There wasn't a question on there. Oh yeah, I see it. Does the bumper work best with the body lift or any configuration? Or answer that one already? No, I don't think so.
No.
Anyways, it'll work with it. I mean, it's going to work best with a body lift just because that's how we've been able to get that approach angle up best.
But it will
right?
work in any configuration.
It'll work in any configuration for sure, 100%. But if you want that best approach angle, then that's how we can do it.
Yep.
Oh, the shock skids. Okay, good to know. So I'm not, you know what, I'm gonna have to, Chris, or I'm gonna get with you and find out why they don't work, because maybe that's something we can easily make a modification that'll work for all of them. I'm not sure there. Silly underbelly winch. Oh, so what's that? I'm doing the Bilstein 6200 suspension lift on mine and don't want a silly underbelly winch. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, again, I encourage everybody, send me an email. I will start compiling a list, and if we get enough demand for it, I will have no problem adding that as another item. And that's kind of why we want to do this style of a forum every week. Is it's important for me, and I hope you guys find it important to you, that as we talk or understand some of the things that are concerning to you guys or that you want to see, it helps us decide what direction is best direction. On that, there's a few things that we're still moving forward on, not as fast as I want, but we are moving forward on the tube for the differential, the front diff, that is breaking all over the place. In fact, this Bronco right here at Easter Jeep Safari broke its tube on Hefes with Matt's Off-Road. So we know and understand that is a weak point. It's just been an expensive project and tooling, and we're very close. I don't want to put a time frame out there, but that's something coming up soon. And the other thing, another exciting thing that's very close now. It's been taking longer than I wanted it to, but we've redesigned the rear hinge. Austin's been working on that in conjunction with Texas Fabco. We've been doing the rear tire mount, and I'm not going to say 100% until we go test it, but John and Austin both feel that we'll be able to mount up to a 42-inch tire off of that rear. So we'll test it first before we say that 100%. But that billet hinge and the size of pin that we're putting in that, we want to have a version to be able to hold that big tire on its own without having to then attach it to your bumper and pin it that way and stuff. So just another way of doing it. I'm not saying the other ways are bad, but this is going to be our version of how we address this issue. So, let's see. I installed the E-Box last week, and the housing around the bolt is thicker than the stock Bilsteins and doesn't allow the shock skid to fit. Okay.
Good to know.
Good to know. Well, if any of you guys get a minute and can send me a picture, I would love to see a picture of that. Again, I don't know how hard of a modification it is on our end, but I'm always open to looking at that and seeing, because that is something that I would definitely want to have on my Bronco, because we know what happens without it.
Yep.
Okay, so looking forward to the tube upgrade until we can go with the Dana diff. Yes, and that was my thoughts on it. Was, even though I know it's going to be a fairly expensive part, there's a lot of people that aren't interested in going beyond a 37-inch tire. Okay. And if you're going to 30, if you're not going above 37 and you don't need to re-gear above the 4.7, then I feel very strongly that with that tube and with 29 spline CVs, your chance of breaking are going to be very, very slim. Now, is the whole upgraded front end the best? Yeah, it is. But again, this is about options for everybody. And I've talked to enough people that say, well, I'm never going to go to above 4.7 gears. I really have no intention of changing out my front diff. We just want something so I don't keep breaking that tube. Because there's a couple people out there that have broke it multiple times, and they're tired of breaking it. So it's definitely on our list. So we're not forgotten about it. I've got quite a bit already invested in it. We will finish that. So, yes, we definitely are waiting very eagerly, and I encourage. And Robert, I'm so sorry it's taken so long. It's nothing in my control, and I actually call and bug Dana every day, and it's problem's not getting better. It's getting worse. So if you're looking to upgrade the front, I encourage you get your order in, get on the list, because it is running longer, way longer than it should. And I hate that. I don't like having something take longer than it should, but it's hopefully going to get better here soon. So, and I know you don't blame me, Robert, but it doesn't matter, because I still wake up every morning it bothering me, because I hate having orders that I can't send out. Yeah. But it's in none of our control. So, yes, I mean, I've only heard of, now this is the first night tonight that I haven't heard, or that I've heard of it not fitting with, the Bronco on any suspension. So the E-Box, I don't know if I know of any others. So I don't think you'll have a problem. A lot of people have upgraded their suspension. I put a few different versions and never had a problem with the shock skids. But again, let's, give us that feedback and we'll try. The wild track. Yes, we know that. And so it's a very easy part to do. My biggest problem is I don't have a wild track. So we've got one track down in Houston. We're going to get it scanned. And, I just need more hours in a day.
Yeah, you do.
I tell you what,
I'm going to give you night vision goggles and just let you work at night too.
Yes, we are going to offer diff skid also. Again, it's one thing at a time, and we're moving as fast as we can. And I keep getting squirreled. Different things happen, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got to work on this because this is a huge issue right now. And so then I keep coming back. I need to finish this. I need to finish that. So we're doing the best we can. We've actually got quite a few new products out here real recently, so I'm pretty happy about that. I just fear that I'm going to get it in, then something bigger and badder comes along, like travel IFS. Yeah. or maybe, there's a lot of things that could happen. I know. I agree with you. I mean, I've got my Dana 60 I want to get put in, and so I can go break, because I've already broke my Dana 44 a couple of times. It's right now it's welded solid. So, the last time I broke it, it broke the locker, and I said, well, my Dana 60 is coming. So I'll have a video about that too. I recorded all of it. I literally pulled it apart in Matt's shop there in Hurricane 2 weekends ago. And we pulled the whole carrier apart and welded it solid. So that was fun. Let's see. Lipey for work. 40s are definitely in the future. Probably this next winter, been running 37s for a year. Yeah, 40s are a lot of fun. It definitely is a cool stance. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had 37s so that I could just go out with you guys and not break stuff. But we're going to go out and break it so we can make sure you don't. So we'll continue running our 40s.
We have a job to do.
That's our job. Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's see. I don't know what time is it? This has been so much fun. I've lost track. Geez, we've already been on an hour. Yep. Well, guys, listen, we appreciate you. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your support. And as always, continue to give us your feedback of things you'd like to see. Until then, next week, my plan is to be broadcasting next Tuesday in Townsend, Tennessee. So if all goes well, otherwise I'll be driving, and you'll just have to, I'll put my satellite up wherever I am on the road, and we'll do it we are going to do it next Tuesday. It's either going to be while I'm in transit to Townsend, or I will be in Townsend, and I'll pop the satellite up, and we'll give you kind of a view of what's going on there. So,
and don't forget June 3rd and 4th.
Yep.
The Gulf Coast Bronco Association with their Holly Beach bash. So
yeah,
if it's something you're interested in, or it's something you're willing to just pony up a little bit, be able to support, or go to our GoFundMe to help support Wheeling for a Cause, we'd super appreciate it.
So I know there's a few that came on after Doug talked about it. I'm just going to do a real quick update, or I guess saying it one more time. So I apologize. But June 3rd and 4th, Holly Beach Bronco Bash. It's down just across the Texas border.
Just across Texas border in Louisiana, right on the water.
And they are gracious enough to put this together. All the funds raised is go to Wheeling for a Cause, which goes to benefit our veterans. So it's going to make our event and the veterans that we can support and provide for a lot better. Yeah. So please, if you have the ability, or if you're anywhere close, go and support these guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. With that, we'll see you guys in Townsend next week. I can't wait. Townsend's a fun one. Oftentimes I don't get to make it east. I'm always heading west, and I'm sorry about that. So Townsend is where I get to see a bunch of you guys.
Great Smoky Mountains.
In the Great Smoky Mountains, and I'm hoping it's good weather because I don't like the cold. It's been cold in Utah. It was snowing. We went from a blizzard to a 70-mile-an-hour hurricane last week. Or well, it felt like a hurricane, but
if you're coming, it looks like the weather's going to be good, but bring your bug spray because I got this awful feeling that the bugs are going to be up.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, guys, we're going to close it now and see you next week. Hope you guys have a great week. And as always, stay tuned in. See ya.